So now that we've graphed a bunch of rational expressions, we're now going to look at multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Specifically, let's talk about what a rational expression is. Just one more time. A rational expression is a fraction, and then it's made of two polynomial expressions, right? This is like something where we have f of x over g of x, all right? The steps to simplifying rational expressions, you first need to factor everything, and then you're going to simplify the monomials using your exponent rules, and then you're going to eliminate common binomial factors. So then let's take a look at what that looks like. In this first case, we look to see if there's anything that can be factored. In this case, there's no pluses and minuses, so we're not trying to factor anything. These are all monomial terms, so this is a monomial, this is a monomial, this is a monomial, and this is a monomial. And then we're just going to simplify those as much as we can, right? So 20 and 14 are both divisible by 2. So if we divided 20 by 2, that would give us 10. If we divided 14 by 2, that would give us 7. So we have 10 over 7. And then x to the 6 over x squared. The easiest way for these are to think of this as 6 x's being multiplied together. So x times x times x times x times x times x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Versus in the bottom, we have x times x, which is just 2 x's. So then one of these x's will cancel here, and then this x will cancel here. So now we only have 4 x's being multiplied together. So then this 6 and this x squared cancel, and it's just x to the 4th. So we have 10 over 7. Whoops, also in that top with 10 goes x to the 4th. So 10 x to the 4th divided by 7. Okay? Again, you can think about it as 6 minus 2 leaves us with x to the 4th as well. Number 2. Number 2, we now have pluses and minuses, so we need to start thinking about factoring things. In this case, 6 comes out of both of those terms in the top. So we're going to factor that 6 out. We factor 6 out, we would be left with k minus 6, because we divide both of those by 6. And then that's over k minus 6. At this point, what we are allowed to do is we can cancel this binomial with this binomial, and then it will just be 6 is the only thing left. The reason we're allowed to do that is because we need to imagine this as x multiplied by y, and then it's getting divided by this k minus 6 is another y. So then my y cancels with this y, and then we're only left with just the x. All right? So number 3, there's some factoring involved here. We can factor this bottom thing. Y squared up front, so y and y. Negative in the back, so it's plus and minus. And then positive 2 in the middle. So those factors of 48 that make 2 is going to be 6 and 8. So positive 8 and negative 6. What's kind of nice about these is you see this y plus 8 in the top here. So it kind of tells you, it hints to you that y plus 8 is most likely one of the factors here. So then we cancel the y plus 8 with the y plus 8. When this cancels in the top, this just becomes 1 is the only thing left here. So it's 1 divided by y minus 6. Number 4, need to do more factoring. GCF out of the top is 2. And then we have just x squared minus x minus 20. GCF in the bottom is 8, so that leaves us with x plus 4. Then from this point, we should be able to pull out an x plus 4 here, so we factor this. So we have x plus 4. Would x minus 5 work? It does, right? Because 4x and negative 5x makes this negative x in the middle, so we're good. And then at this point, we don't care about this anymore, so we can kind of scratch that out because we wrote it right above it. X plus 4 cancels with x plus 4. 2 and 8, both divisible by 2, so this becomes 1. This becomes 4. So now we have a 1 and an x minus 5 in the top, and then 4 is the only thing in the bottom, so this is x minus 5 divided by 4. Okay? Number 5. So number 5, we factor the top, that's an x plus 7, and an x minus 7. That's over 7 minus x. What we have to do in the bottom here to cancel is we need to make this 7 minus x look like something in the top. So we can rewrite this as negative x plus 7 so that our x is in front. And then it still can't cancel because we have x plus 7, x minus 7. This is negative x plus 7. That's neither of those. So instead, you have to pull out negative 1 out of that. So we have x plus 7 in the top, x minus 7 in the bottom. We pull out negative 1 to the front. What would be left would be x minus 7. Now we can cancel x minus 7 with x minus 7. And then we get x plus 7 over negative 1, which is the same thing as saying negative x plus 7. All right? And that would be your answer. You could also distribute that negative and be good as well. Okay, more factoring to go. In this top section, we can pull 3 out of both of those. You can also pull an x out of both of those. So we have 3x come to the front. What's left would be 4x squared minus 1. In the bottom, we can pull out a 6x squared. So if we pull out 6x squared here, we divide this by 6x squared, divide this by 6x squared. So that's plus 1 on the end, and then that's going to be 2x in the front. And then we can actually take this 4x squared minus 1 and factor further. So that's 3x, 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1, divided by 6x squared, 2x plus 1. 2x plus 1 cancels with 2x plus 1. So those go away. And then we have 3 canceling with 6, right? So this is going to become 2 in the bottom because those are both divisible by 3. And then one of these x's here would cancel with one of the x's here. So it would just be x to the first power. So then we have a 2x minus 1, we have a 2, and we have an x. So it's 2x minus 1 divided by 2x. And organizing this work, guys, is just going to be however you can best organize it, right? I like to cancel things. If maybe you like to cancel the 3 and the 6, the 2x and the 1, and then the 2x and the 1, and then rewrote it, that's great too, all right? But whatever organization techniques work for you to organize these questions, that's the best thing that you should do. Ooh, next up, we haven't seen this in a while, some factor by grouping. So we group the first 2 terms together, second 2 terms get grouped together. Out of the first 2, we can pull out 4x squared, so 4x squared moves to the front. We would be left with x minus 8. And then we need x minus 8, so we pull out negative 1 out of the second half, and that gives us x minus 8 here. And then we can factor the denominator a little bit, so that's 2x squared minus 9x minus 8. So that's 2x and x. And it looks like we're going to go 2 and 4 to make 8 would be 4. What are going to be the factors there? If we go 2x and what? 2x. Maybe we need to factor a little bit more. 2x. We need to make negative 9. Oh, this is negative and positive. So negative here, positive here. So x minus 4, oh yeah, right? No. Minus 4, positive 2 would be negative 8 and positive, nope. Why can't I think of this factor? Negative 8 here would be negative 16 plus 1 makes 15. Did I not build this question correctly? Oh no. I didn't build this question correctly. I see that I have it changed on the key here. Sorry, this is supposed to be a negative 15 right here. So then 1 and 8 does work. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So then we go here, we go 4x squared, and then minus 1 multiplied by x minus 8 when we finish factoring at top. And then we have 2x plus 1 x minus 8 here, so the x minus 8's cancel. 4x squared minus 1 keeps going, so that's 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1 over 2x plus 1. So 2x plus 1 and 2x plus 1 cancel. So then our final answer is 2x minus 1. All right. And then lastly right here we have number 8 on the simplifying. So let's pull out the 5 there. 5 comes to the front. 9 minus w. And then we have 3w and w. Let's see. I'm going to guess it's going to be like a plus. Oh, they're both minuses. Okay, can do that. So this is minus minus. And then it's got to be 3 and 9 makes 27. I like that. And then 1. 27 minus 1. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then we need to figure out how we can get these two things to cancel. It looks like we're going to have to do some rearranging here. So 5, and then let's go, this is technically negative w plus 9. So then we can pull out the negative 1 out of there. So it's negative 5 times w minus 9 when you divide that by negative 1. And then you move this negative 1 to the front, you would have to multiply 5 by negative 1. And then that's over 3w minus 1 times w minus 9. Cancel, cancel, cancel. So we get negative 5 over 3w minus 1. And there we go. No more simplifying that we can do at that point. Okay. Next up, we have multiplying rational expressions. So multiplying can get kind of crazy, but you kind of just have to decide how you want to do these. You can cancel everything at the beginning that could possibly be canceled, or you can multiply everything in the beginning that can possibly be multiplied. When you do the multiplying everything first, though, the numbers can get kind of big, right? So like if we did this, 6 times 10 gives us 60. And then x squared times x cubed gives us x to the 5th power. Y cubed and y to the 4th makes y to the 7th power. And then 2 and 18 make 36. X squared is not multiplied by anything, so it stays x squared. And then y2 and y2 make y to the 4th power. 60 and 36, 6 comes out of both of those. Bigger number that comes out of both of those, 12. 12 comes out of both of those. So 12 would give us 5 and 3. X to the 5th, right, because that's 5, that's 3. X to the 5th minus 2 would be x to the 3rd in the top. 7 minus 4 would give us y to the 3rd in the bottom. And that's as simple as we can make it. You could also reduce across the multiplication symbol. So like right here we have 15 reduces with this 5, would become 3. 4 and 12 reduce, and that becomes 3. We could also reduce, I kind of like multiplying all the variables together just so that they're all in one spot. So a and a squared, a cubed is going to become a to the 5th power. B squared, b to the 6th becomes b to the 8th power because we add. 3 times 3 is 9. A and a to the 4th is a to the 5th. B to the 3rd and b to the 7th is b to the 10. A to the 5 and a to the 5 cancel because they're the same. B to the 8 and b to the 10, that's subtraction. So that would give us b to the negative 2 over 9, right, which gives us 1 over 9b squared. You could also think of this as 8 b's and 10 b's, so there would just be 2 b's left in the bottom, which would be right there. All right. Number 11. So here what you should do first is you should factor everything. So like this top section here is going to become 4. Oops, we can also pull out an x. So 4x, and then that's x minus 1. Here we have x and x. That's going to be x minus 2, x plus 3. And then in this section we can pull out a 2, and that becomes x squared plus 2x minus 3. which factors further into 2 times x plus 3x minus 1. So as soon as I factor these, it's kind of nice to just cross them out because we don't need them anymore. And then this last one, we can pull out a 4x, and that's going to become x plus 2. At this point, you could combine them all to one fraction, or you can say, okay, let's see what cancels right now. So like we have 4x canceling with this 4x. We have an x minus 1 here, cancels with this x minus 1. We have an x plus 3 here that cancels with that x plus 3. And then what's left? We have an x minus 2. We have an x plus 2 in the bottom, and we have a 2 in the bottom. So that's x minus 2 over 2, x plus 2. And that cannot go any further, so it would just be right there. Number 12, same idea. Factor out what you can factor out. So this is 5, and then this is going to be 2. Oops, 5v comes out. So 5v, so that's 2 minus v. Don't need that anymore. This one we have v and v. So that's going to be minus 9 plus 1. Don't need that anymore. This is going to be v and v. It's probably minus 9 minus 2. Yep. And then this is just 15v. So then v minus 9, v minus 9. That's all I want to cancel right now. Actually, we could go this v and this v would also cancel. 5 and 15 makes 3 in the bottom right there. So we have 2 minus v, v plus 1, over, there's this 3 here, so that's 3v minus 2. These two things can cancel, but we need to make some switches here. So this is technically negative v plus 2, and then we pull out the negative, right? So we pull out the negative 1. That's negative 1 v minus 2 v plus 1 over 3 v minus 2. Cancel, cancel. So then we're left with a negative v plus 1 over 3 is our final answer. All right. So these get kind of wild. Like I said, just make sure you're trying to stay on top of your organization. It'll be okay. All right. So last, we're going to look at dividing rational expressions. To divide rational expressions, it's just multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay. So for 13, this says divided by. Literally, you're just going to change it to a multiplication sign. So 5p over q, 16p to the third, multiplied by, and then you switch the top and bottom. So 8q to the fifth, 35p squared, q squared. All right, I like to cancel my numbers first, so 5 and 35 makes 7, 8 and 16 makes 2 down here. So then that's pq to the sixth in the top. In the bottom we have 14, p cubed and p squared makes p to the fifth, q squared. So this p cancels with 1p here, and that becomes a 4. Q to the 6 and q to the 2, those are gone. You minus 2 from here gives you 4. So q to the fourth power over 14p to the fourth power. And then we're done. And then our last one, I know it looks wild because we're putting a crazy fraction divided by a crazy fraction, but it's just the same as the last one. So go right here, and we're going to rewrite it. 10 over 4x minus 8, because that's the top rational expression, and then that's getting multiplied by, and then we'll swap these. So this is x squared plus x minus 6 over 2x squared plus 6x, swapping the top and bottom. And then now we can do our factoring. So factoring, we pull a 4 out, that's x minus 2. Don't need that anymore. Factoring this top, I'm going to guess it's x minus 2. That means x plus 3 because of that x minus 2 we found in the bottom. And then lastly, 2x comes out of here, and we're left with x plus 3. Don't need that anymore. So x plus 3 and x plus 3 cancel. X minus 2 and x minus 2 cancel, so let's put that together. That's 10 in the top. 4 and 2 make 8x. 10 over 2 goes away. Those are both divisible by 2, so that's 5/4. So this is 5 over 4x. And then we're done. All right. So all those ones like 14 look kind of crazy, I promise. Just rewrite it and you'll be okay. All right? So that is multiplying, dividing, and simplifying rational expressions. I know some of those parts might have been tricky, so come with questions or message me on Canvas with questions. Have a great day.